back in the offseason that this is, no matter how many guys you have back, it's a new team. Are you a little surprised that you're not further along on defense after you were so good that way last year?
Yeah, a little bit, and I think some of it's lazy. I think some of it is focus. I think there's a lot of things, and I think this team is not, but you know, and your point is great. We should be further along. We probably are further along right now than we were last December, but we should be a lot further along. And the fact is, it's a mindset, and you can say what you want to say. We've proven that we can do it. It's just a matter of, it goes back to focus and guys being focused on that end of the floor as opposed to, I mean, you watch us play in some games, I think there's guys that their mindset is on the offensive end and it shows up that way in terms of some shot selections and those type things. And it goes back to just being focused on the defensive end the way we need to be.
With people like, I guess, you know, Grant's starting to get more attention, not just, you know, from other teams and other players, but just nationally, people are starting to talk about him kind of being a star with some of his numbers and what he's done. Have you seen any of that change him in any way?
Yeah, oh, you see it all the time with everybody. I mean, you can't help. I mean, everywhere you go, people talking about this, saying that. I mean, they get so many messages from a lot of different people, and the fact of the matter is, it's our job to point out I mean, you watch game tape, you can point all you need to look at. I mean, you can, if he's as good as he, and one thing that I will say before I say what I want to say, he knows he's got to get better. He knows it. So people can tell him he's this, that, or whatever. He knows where he is. He knows he's got to get better at defending the basketball. He knows he's got to stop turning the ball over. He knows he's got to rebound better. He knows all that. But people look at stat sheet and all that, which is obviously sometimes you want to look at how do you really affect a game like a guy like Yves Pons does without just being out there, the blocks and the things that he does. Grant, the other night, I thought he went back to blocks some shots, but I think a lot of that took off because of Yves. And then Bowden had a block. I think that get one guy starting to do that, it can roll over to the rest of the guys on the team. But there's no doubt these guys hear all this, they see it, and what you have to do is make sure it doesn't. I think every team this time of year is fragile in their locker room because, you know, other players can look around and say, well, this guy's getting attention, that guy's getting attention. Families can tell them, hey, how come you not being like that? You know, and all this and all that. And sometimes the program outgrows certain guys, and if they're not willing to keep working and get better. But it's our job to make sure that for us to think we're going to be oblivious and think that they're not hearing stuff that, and again, they choose to believe it or not believe it, and it's our job to just to paint the real story and let them see where we can all have to get better.
What should we look for from Corpus Christi?